Got a Christmas story to tell, and you really want to tell it well. Get it, don't forget it, on Kodak film. You feel better when you say, I got it.
Every picture tells a story. Capture the color of Christmas this year on fresh Kodak film.
I got it!
I got it.
I got it!
Kodak wishes you some merry, merry pictures.
Atari would like to thank you for taking us into your homes. We wish you all a happy holiday.
Hi, how are you again?
I have some last-minute gift problems.
Don't worry. Hickory Farms has over 100 gift packs. Gifts with mild cheddar cheese, smoky bar cheese. We are the super cheese market.
Yes.
And Hickory Farms specialties like beef stick and sweet hot mustard.
Oh, look, I'll just put myself in your hands.
Okay. Let's see. It's 14 elves.
Mm-hmm.
How many reindeer?
Well, there's Dancer.
Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas from your Kmart Christmas store. Save on sweaters and on hats, bowling balls and baseball bats.
Cameras, TVs, bikes and plants, goldfish, fat toys, slippers, pants.
Mirrors, dresses, perfume, socks, toasters, roasters, robes and clocks. Candy, records, films and toys at Santa Land for girls and boys. Christmas smiles light every place at Kmart's Christmas saving place.
On the first day of Christmas, I left the Hallmark store
With a stuffed toy named Rodney Reindeer.
On the next day, I bought Rhonda, and then I added more.
Now I do the song before, dance with Rhonda. Hallmark, thank you. 3 fluffy toys, 2 girls and boys, 1 more for the treat, and a stuffed toy named Rodney Reindeer.
Give Rodney and Rhonda reindeer this Christmas. They're only at Hallmark.
Friday, a holiday tradition for 21 years.
I've killed it.
It's time once again for America's favorite Charlie Brown adventure. It's an Emmy Award-winning special. It's a Charlie Brown Christmas. Then he's back, the original cool guy. And this time he's gonna melt your heart. So chill out with Frosty the Snowman. Share the holiday spirit Friday on CBS.
Yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Tommy, guess what?
What?
He was here. He knows.
Oh.
Really? Tommy? Come on. See? Even he knows Sprite won the taste test.
I feel like I wanna be feeling. Look at the smile on my lips. I've got that M&M's feeling right at my fingertips. So carefree, make any plan. The chocolate melts in your mouth. Not in your hand, you wanna grab on to that M&M's feeling.
There's lots of folks you shouldn't forget.
When giving McDonald's gift certificates,
The paper boy who delivers through thick and thin.
the lady who teaches your son violin, the barber who cuts your hair just right, the sitter who sat for you Saturday night.
Say Merry Christmas with McDonald's gift certificate.
Each cost 50 cents, and a book of 10 costs $5.
At McDonald's, we do it all for
If anybody loves trains, it's me, Johnny Cash. You know, if your boy's under 10 like mine is, he needs a big Lionel like this Black River Freight. Lionel also makes HO gauge trains for older kids, like this Burlington 181. But for smaller hands, the big Lionel is easier to handle and put on the track. This Christmas, get your boy a train that's built for the way young boys play. A big, rugged Lionel. Lionel, the big train for small hands.
Ain't nothing like a real thing, baby.
This holiday season, serve the very best at any gathering. Serve delicious chicken tenders from Burger King.
Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Chicken tenders are all white meat breast fillets, not formed bits and pieces of chicken like McNuggets. Plus, they're cooked in 100% vegetable oil. So pick up chicken tenders from Burger King. This holiday, how could you serve anything less than the best?
Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby.
Wednesday on CBS, The Bangles, Sting, Run DMC, The Judge, John Cougar Mellencamp, Stevie Nicks, Michael McDonald, U2, and more in an all-new holiday special. Santa Claus is rocking the town with Top of the Pops.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
A very special Christmas, Wednesday.
To you and yours, happy holidays from Friedlander.
What can we leave for Santa?
Cinnamon toast for lunch.
That's great!
We sprinkle cinnamon and sugar for a homemade taste. Part of this complete breakfast.
Happy holidays! From Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
With Pillsbury Sugar Cookies, you can help kids create their own Christmas treats.
I made a little angel. Actually, my mommy helped. It was easy. This Santa has a problem. My Santa's cheeks got chubby in the oven. You know how I made it? Frosting and gumdrops. The wing broke off and I ate it.
Everyone loves Pillsbury cookies, fresh and hot. Ho, ho!
Eating's the best, no problem.
Only from Atari. Made especially for systems from Atari. The video game that lets you help E.T. get home. Just in time for Christmas. Happy holidays from Atari.
Ho, ho, ho! I've got a present for you. See, a snuggle ornament for the tree. It's free when you buy Snuggle fabric softener.
Look for your free ornament at the Snuggle display in your store.
Have a happy holiday.
The night before Christmas, an Oreo cookie's waiting for a special guest.
I'll just take a little rest.
Ho, 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 who's that kid with the Oreo cookies? Eating all the luscious chocolate, licking all the creamy middles, dunking all the crunchy cookies like he did when he was little. It's so hard to hide the kid inside with Christmas and O-R-E-O. Bisco.
There's a place where Christmas dreams come true.
Welcome, everyone. Woo! How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing all right. Had a good weekend so far. Yeah. So here's the thing, folks. I've got this whole excuse me, sorry. I've got this whole Jennifer McCabe supposed 911 call, but of course, now I don't have the whole thing. I just have the extent of what Coffindoffer shared, and I think she finally blocked me. I don't know what took her so long, but now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go over it. Now it's gonna be kind of tough because I'm gonna have to hold my phone up to my mic. It's the only way I can play it because it's a file and I can't share the file through StreamYard for whatever reason. I tried it, it's not working. I even tried emailing it to myself, no go. So it's kind of annoying. Now, well, actually, maybe hold on. Let me see if I actually I think maybe I can share it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, looks like I actually may be able to. Okay. Now, and I realize the Young Jerks is live now. I didn't realize I wasn't I would not have gone live if I knew that they were going live at the same time. Because there's a couple of things that I want to discuss in regards to the entire Canton situation. I think it's kind of, yeah, it's getting a little crazy. If some of you are probably going, getting, what do you mean getting? Yeah, it's been a little crazy. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and play this, but I have problems with this. I have some problems with this. Now, let's go ahead and check it out real quick. Okay. Wait, what are people in chat saying? The 3-minute version is on Facebook. Okay. Let me look for that then real quick. Is it in the group? Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. I'm just scrolling through the news feed here. See what you guys are saying. Michelle, you say you posted the link. Did you post it in the Justice for John O'Keefe and Karen Reed Turtle Boy official group? Is that where you posted it? Take a look here. Because all I have is like the 18-second one, and it's not very informative. Original Justice Group. Okay. What's up, Billy Buzz Smith? Okay. Yeah, I'm scrolling and I'm not seeing it. Nope. I somebody else got blocked by Jennifer Coffendoffer. I can't believe it took her so long to block me. And yeah, if I could find that 3-minute version, then maybe we can understand a little bit better why everybody's being weird about playing the whole thing. Because that's going to drive me crazy. And I can't find it. Okay, you sent it to Cherry. All right, that means Cherry will send it to me. Okay, so just give Cherry 1 second here to send it to me, and then and we'll go over it. Okay. Let's see here. Somebody else just sent it to me. Oh, man. Hold on. There we go. No, they didn't send it to me. They just asked me if I've if I've seen. Here we go. Yeah, I got it. Okay, and then let me see real quick. I think I've got this. I think I got this, folks. Yeah. All right, here we go. Can you guys hear that okay?
Yes, I need someone from 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
That's interesting because she says, I need somebody. What I could hear is her saying, I need somebody at 34 Fairview Road. There's someone passed out in the snow. There's a man passed out in the snow. Right. AC, that's what I was going to say. A man, like she didn't know him. And why didn't she identify him as a police officer? Now, this is only as much as I've heard so far, basically. So, hold on, sorry. Okay. Yeah, Cherry. Yeah, I got it. Thank you, Cherry. Someone emailed it to me. And thank you to who sent that to me? I'm just gonna say Jessica. So yeah, so supposedly this is Jenn McCabe calling 911. Okay. Now, first of all, why can I only hear her? Why can't I hear the dispatcher? Where's this phone call coming from? Did she record the phone call? Because that's why can I only hear Jenn McCabe's end of the call, which I find very, very weird. Why can't, if this is an official 911 call release, why? Oh, it's John's voicemail. Well, why would it be on John's voicemail? What am I missing? Yeah, this can't be official. So why would John's voicemail pick it up? Does anybody have the answer to that? And what am I missing here? Karen dropped her phone in Jen's back seat, and it just so happened to be picking up Jenn McCabe calling 911. Oh, that sounds shady as fuck. Am I the only one here that doesn't think that thinks that that's fucking weird? I mean, okay, let's just go through the rest of it. This is very, very strange. Okay. I hear Karen in the background. I hear Karen in the background saying, John.
Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Terry.
Blankets?
Yes, I need some.
No, I get all that. Like, obviously, I mean, I could put that together. Karen was trying to call John. She panicked when she saw John, and then dropped her phone in the car and jumped out of the car to admit it, right? And as it was recorded, voicemail was Jenn was calling with her phone. I understand that. But what I don't understand is how coincidental that is. A, B, how did John's voicemail get accessed and then released? I find that to be a little weird too. I mean, again, I'm just speculating out loud here. Guys, this is reaction because I've only heard like 13 seconds or 18 seconds of this. So understand that I'm reacting to this as well, but I have questions. And maybe there are simple answers to these questions, but I mean, but okay, Catherine, I get it that it's fate. Great. Awesome. But my issue that I'm having right now, because again, in this channel, we question everything. Who got a hold of John's voicemail, was able to check it, and then able to release it? Who had the means? That's what I'm going over. Yeah, guys, I promise I'm going to play the whole thing, but as I'm going to, if I have a question, I'm going to pause it and we're going to discuss it. We're not going nowhere. All right, tell you what I'll do. To appease everyone, what I'll do is I'll start it over from the beginning. I'll let it play, and then we'll break it down bit by bit afterwards, okay? We got plenty of time. Let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to start it from the beginning, okay, guys?
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think he's dead. Okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Terry. Yes, I need some. a true report to the third floor, see if you're loading station. John is 46 years old. I don't know if he got out of the car and it could get off. Is he Carrie? Is he? I don't. I don't know. I know I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know.
Last Ronin, this is the 911 call allegedly from Jenn. Now, it's not the actual official 911 call. Apparently, this is John O'Keefe's voicemail that was picked up by Karen's phone calling him, frantically trying to find him. Remember, Jenn and Karen were off driving around looking for John, and then they came back to the house. And when they came back to the house is when they saw John lying in the front of the property. And so Jenn McCabe calls 911, but Karen's phone is on and has John's voicemail on it and is picking up Jen's call to 911. Excuse me. And that's why you can't hear the dispatcher. Now, I'm going to be interested in trial to hear this 911 call, because this 911 call, it will be played in trial, guaranteed. There's absolutely no reason why it wouldn't be. Either the prosecution is going to be adamant about playing it, most likely they would, and or the defense is going to be enthusiastic about playing it for their evidence. But I have a lot of questions. Let's go ahead and start it over and break it down. I don't understand what Karen is screaming. It sounds like she's screaming Karen, but I know that can't be what she's saying. So maybe, Cherry. Oh, Carrie, because that's right. Okay, thank you. Carrie, Kerry. She's the third girl that's in that situation. I completely forgot about that. Thank you guys. You guys are fantastic. Yeah. All right. That makes perfect sense.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
Again, why did she not identify him as a police officer to create more urgency? Now, I mean, that could just be an innocent mistake, but a man passed out. She's the only one out of that group that actually knew him besides Karen that was friendly with him. And I'm not gonna like, it's just kind of weird because it could just be innocent people. I mean, I don't know if I believe that, but I mean, between the Google search and this, I mean, it's not a good look. Because she supposedly made this Google search at 2:47 a.m., right? Wasn't it 2:47 a.m.? Or am I just like remembering that time wrong? But I mean, it was definitely hours before this took place. And of course she knew it was John. That's the thing, is why didn't she say police officer John O'Keefe? There's a police officer, there's an off-duty police officer passed out in the snow. Right? Why didn't she say that? And I mean, 2:27, thank you. 2:27 a.m. So in order to create more urgency and try to save his life, I mean, I figure that's common sense, because it's not like she just randomly saw a guy passed out in the snow. They were just out driving around specifically looking for John O'Keefe. Everyone was worried about him. Karen was worried about him. And Karen drove around with Jenn and Carrie to look for John. Why isn't she not just assuming that that is John O'Keefe? It doesn't make sense. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you were saying I wouldn't be calm if I saw anyone laying in the snow. I'm not going to attribute her being calm with a 911 dispatcher to any type of indication of guilt of anything. And I know a lot of you aren't going to like that. But the truth is, I mean, what we hope for when someone calls 911 is to be able to compose themselves, right? I never really look at that as, because I've had to call 911 under crazy circumstances before. And I understand, as I'm talking to the 911 dispatcher, that it does no good to the person who I'm trying to help for me to be hysterical over the phone. I happen to have that kind of self-control to where I'm like, okay, I want to speak as clearly as possible. I want to avoid them. It's just efficiency. I want to avoid them having to ask me to repeat anything. I want to be able to give as much information that's absolutely necessary as I possibly can. So I'm not going to attribute her being calm with a 911 operator or dispatcher to her being guilty of something. You're saying Carrie said to stop the CPR? See, yeah, we have to listen more closely to a lot of the things that are being said. But so far, what I find weird, and we're just a few seconds into this thing, so far, what I'm finding strange is the fact that she did not, I mean, having, like, knowing all of these cops, being friends with all these cops, and if she is a friend of his, why did she not seem to have a more sense of urgency or try to apply more urgency to who we, you know what I mean? Like try to convince the 911 operator to, tell the ambulance to put the pedal to the metal because there's a police officer laying in the snow here and he needs help fast. This is an officer down. Just because he's off duty, it doesn't mean he's not an officer. So an officer down, she knows better than that. Now, I mean, again, who knows what it's like being in that situation? It could just be innocent. It could just be that she's a fucking airhead and didn't think of it. Or she just didn't really know what, I mean, could just be that she was in a panic herself and just trying to deliver information as clearly as possible. But I mean, I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem right. There's just too much that makes it seem like it's not, I mean, you got Jennifer McCabe hanging out at the Proctor's house, kicking it with Mrs. Proctor. That's kind of weird, man. All of these things. And why is are people like Coffindoffer trying to only play certain parts of the call, which only makes me want to listen more to what's going on outside of the car. I want to listen more closely to that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think he's dead. He's so like, okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Terry. Yes, I need some.
I wonder who is texting her right there. Well, I guess that's actually Karen's phone. So that baby music is a text message notification. That's what that is. And you can tell it's Karen's phone because it condenses the sound as it comes through. So the mic gets kind of like slowly muted and then unmuted. Just Christy the Crow, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. Now I want to be clear, Bob Brown. I know, man. Like I appreciate that, but please understand that I'm playing devil's advocate here, and I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to operate under the assumption that Jenn McCabe is innocent as much as I'm going to operate under the assumption that Karen Reed is innocent. Because it's only to be able to objectively ask the right questions, because I want answers. I don't want the answers that prove me right as far as my theories go. I want the correct answers. And I don't think we're really going to get those here. But I like to try, and I like to know that I tried to do it as objectively as possible. Because this may not reveal anything. Because I mean, let's just say Jennifer McCabe absolutely helped put this man out on the lawn, helped carry his ass out. Let's just say that. Let's just say she even murdered him, right? Hypothetically speaking. Let's just say it was her, for fuck's sake, right? I mean, wouldn't it stand to reason that she's not going to leave any type of indication of guilt during this 911 call? She's going to be very careful in the way that she words things. She's going to You know, I mean, it's not, you can't walk into court, right? As a defense attorney trying to prove that Karen Reed is innocent and have Jenn McCabe on the stand and then be like, well, why were you so calm when you called 911? The obvious answer is going to be, well, I mean, because I wanted the operator to understand the urgency. I wanted efficiency in helping this man who was on the lawn. You know, I mean, that's going to be the simplest answer. And if I'm on the jury and I hear that, and being a guy who knows how to compose myself when I call 911 and not panic, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. So this may not be anything. As much as we all want it to be something, it may not be anything. Cherry, now that's a good question. You're saying they saw him as soon as they pulled up. Why didn't Jenn see him when she left? I call bullshit. Possibly because it was dark when they left and daylight when they got back. It was more illuminated by the time they got back, maybe. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. And Jenn never got out of the car. That's a good point, too. If Jenn's calling 911 from the car, now there are two reasons that stick out to me for that, as far as that goes. As far as why Jenn never got out of the car, I mean, she did eventually. You can hear her. Eventually, she gets out of the car. But the two reasons that I can think of is, A, Karen was yelling and being hysterical, rightfully so, and she needed to be able to focus and be able to hear the 911 operator clearly. And closing herself inside the car would eliminate some of that sound and make it easier for her to have that conversation with the 911 operator. That's one theory. Another theory would be that she just didn't care. Another theory would be she just knew that he was there, and then she was like, all right, well, I'll just sit here in the car and call 911. Because one could also argue that you see this person, when you see somebody laying out on the lawn, your instinct is to jump out of the car and go see what the status of this person is. One could argue that Jenn McCabe never did this because she already understood what the situation was. She already knew that was John O'Keefe laying there. She already knew that he was no longer alive. She already knew all of these things and just stayed calm and just sat in the car and called 911. But again, that is us jumping to that conclusion because we think that Jenn McCabe is dirty as fuck. Now, again, we have to understand that does not eliminate the possibility that she just simply wanted to sit in the car and get a clear and be able to hear the dispatcher clearly and focus on providing the dispatcher with the information needed without any interruptions, without any distractions. Yeah, I think so too, Lorraine Griffin. I think so too. Yeah, see, and Cherry, this is why Cherry is as valuable as she is to this channel, because she's also making an excellent point again here. She's saying she asked for blankets, but never asked her sister or BIL for any bullocks. Right. Why did she not run inside the house? Why did she not run inside the house and go, oh my God, John is out on the lawn. Oh my God, get me as many blankets as you can. This is an emergency. But instead, the focus was, I don't want to wake my sister up. I don't want to wake up my sister or her husband. or anybody else in the house that's sleeping, because them sleeping takes precedence over a dying police officer in the front lawn. Because if I'm listening to all of these things, if I'm looking at all of these things, the point that Cherry's making right now is the one that raises the most questions. This is her sister's house. It's not like it was somebody's house that she just randomly went to go party at. And they were like, oh, well, you're going to your house? All right. Yeah, we just met tonight, but we're cool. We're getting along. So, yeah, man, I'll come over to your house and hang out. No, it's her sister's house. It's her sister's house, her brother-in-law's house. Why didn't she feel 100% comfortable just running into the house or banging on the door if it's locked, saying, this is an emergency, you need to come out here and get blankets, or send Carrie? Listen, I got 911 on the phone right now. Carrie, run inside and get blankets from my sister. Or Carrie, here, talk to 911. I'm going to run in this house and I'm going to get blankets. Why didn't that happen? Hold on a second. Okay. 6:03 a.m. 6:03 and 47 seconds a.m. Jennifer McCabe calls 911. 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Deleted from Jennifer McCabe's phone. Huh. It's fascinating. Let's listen to the rest here. Let's just continue here.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Vietnam. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think he's dead. He's sort of like, I think he's dead. He's sort of like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. Passed out in the snow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
It's as high as the volume goes. I don't know what she's saying there. I don't know why what.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think he's dead.
She said, I don't know why he's something. But I can't make out what she's saying.
Okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Carrie. Yes, I need some.
I mean, it may not mean anything, but it is noteworthy that Karen is the only one that seems hysterical. Karen seems to be the only one with any sense of urgency at all whatsoever. Jen doesn't seem to have any sense of urgency at all. I don't know, Jay Adams. I don't know. You're okay. You're saying she made that 911 call at the 4-minute mark, hitting the keys of phone, using a different phone. Are there two phones involved? This seems all about control versus helping a friend. I mean, that's one observation, sure. But I don't know, man. I mean, there's an explanation for the two phones, apparently, but I'm just curious as to why somebody who had access to John's voicemail would release this. What do they hope to benefit from doing that? There's another call recorded after the 911 call. Is that available? I'd like to see that. I'd like to hear that. Right. Exactly, Bob Brown. That's exactly the reason why I'm asking. Uh Oh, wait. See, I'm wondering something else here. Um, let me check something real quick because I've actually hold on. Because I'm not 100% sure that she I'm not 100% sure that she blocked me. It could be that she just took down the um let me see. Yep. Well, that answers that. That answers that. You're blocked. Coffin Offer finally blocked me, folks. Amazing, folks. Amazing. All right.
John is 46 years old.
Okay, what does she say right there?
John is 46 years old. I don't know if he got out of the car and it could be an hour. If he Carrie, if he I don't I don't know.
What's up, Corvette Sally? I haven't seen you in a minute. It's good to see you. Hold on. I can't send it, Cherry. Um, Yeah, I can't send it. It's not giving me the option to send it the way that we communicate. I don't know. Maybe if I... And there's no like share option here. Okay, here we go. No. Yeah, I can't share it. Let me see something real quick. No. Okay. I played the whole thing earlier. All right, let's keep going.
It was people named Terry. Yes, I need some.
Right. I have all that, Lorraine Griffin. We'll go over that. I have all that. We'll go over that. Here, let me... John is 46 years old. I don't know if he got out of the car and it could be an operating hour. Is he Carrie? Is he? I don't know. Why is she speaking so fucking quietly? She's saying, I don't know, he got out of the car. She got out of the car? Did she say she or he?
John is 46 years old. I don't know if he got out of the car and it could be an operating hour. Is he Carrie? Is he? I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know.
Right. So Karen's doing CPR. That's what I'm getting out of that right there. That Karen's trying to administer CPR, and Carrie's yelling at her saying, Karen, you got to stop. Stop. You're not helping. Now, it could be, one could argue and say, well, why is she telling her to stop doing CPR? Well, there's the possibility that she was doing it wrong, right? Or Carrie knew that he was already dead, and there was nothing that could be done. Or if Karen was administering the CPR wrong, doing it poorly, and she was telling her, hey, stop, you're not helping, then that would indicate that she knows how to do the CPR, and she should have taken over and said, Karen, get away. I know CPR. I know how to do it properly. And then got on there and started to work on him and save his life. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables here. Yeah, that's it right there. Like, it stops right there. I didn't stop it. It stops. Huh. Yeah, I got a lot of questions. See, the thing is we're going to speculate. We're going to have all kinds of questions, and we're going to have our narrative that we're already set on, and the things that we observe are going to be, we're subconsciously going to work those things into our own narrative that we already have our minds made up on. So we have to keep that in mind and have to be careful of that if we're going to think objectively here. Because the fact of the matter is this is a situation where it is all happening right then and there. Okay. The fact is, they pull up to the house, they see a guy lying on the lawn, a guy that they were looking for, guy that they were specifically out looking for, and it's a chaotic situation. Not everyone, or sometimes nobody, is going to behave in the most perfect choreographed type fashion that one would expect when we are asking questions like, why didn't this person do this? Why didn't that person do that? The simple answer to that could very well be, it's a chaotic situation. Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? It could just be a chaotic situation where everybody's just like, I don't fucking know. You know? Why is she whispering? Maybe because she's trying to stay calm. Why is Karen so, and again, this is not my opinions. I'm just, again, asking questions, playing devil's advocate here. Why is Karen Reed so, is she overdoing it? Is this all part of her ruse that she ran John over and then took off and then put on this whole big front that she's out looking for him? Right? I mean, you know what I mean? And then by the time she gets back, oh my God, woe is me, not John. Oh no. That could be the case. But I mean, the thing is I'm just not leaning towards that, because there's too many things that are just like, why the fuck didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And I can't be unfair. I can't be unfair, because if I'm just automatically going to jump to the conclusion that whatever Jenn McCabe was doing was shady as fuck in those very moments, I'm not talking about before, I'm not talking about after, I'm not talking about the phone calls that were made, I'm talking about just simply what we're hearing on this recording. That's all I'm talking about right now. So all we're hearing on this recording is what I'm basing everything on. Now, another thing though, if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to sit there and pick apart this and find everything wrong with it, well, then that's the same fucking thing as everybody with the Brian Kohberger situation and Dylan Mortensen. And why didn't she call 911 right away? Why didn't she find that? Why didn't she find it suspicious that there was somebody in the house that walked past her? So many different questions where I'm going to defend Dylan Mortensen and go, you don't fucking know, you weren't there. You know what I mean? There's no fucking reason for us to just jump to the conclusion that Dylan Mortensen was either negligent in getting help for her friends, for her 4 friends that were stabbed to death, or she was part of it. Even worse. I'm not going to jump to that conclusion. Not based on this, but I got to tell you though, I mean, let's take a look here. If at 6:30, okay, right here, Jennifer McCabe, 6:03, calls 911. All right, 6:04. That okay. See, that can't be right. That's strange. All right. So what I'm looking at here, let me share with you guys what I'm looking at here. All right. Now I know you guys can't really see this too well unless you're watching on a big screen or thanks, Bob Brown. I don't know if I'd be able to resist from saying fuck. If I were an attorney, I'd be that passionate. I'd be like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, how the fuck do you not see what's wrong here? But yeah, right here, it says at 6:03, 47 seconds. This is very specific. Jennifer McCabe calls 911, answers 3 minutes and 32 seconds, deleted from Jennifer McCabe's phone. Now, we'll go over Jennifer McCabe's phone records in a minute. And then here at 6:04 a.m., we're talking 13 seconds after the 911 call. Unless there was already an officer patrolling the area, how fucking fast is that response time? That is the fastest fucking response time I have ever seen. I have ever even heard of. 13-second response time, people. From 6:03 when she calls 911. Okay. 6:03:05 a.m. Jennifer McCabe arrives at 34 Fairview. 6:03:47 seconds a.m. Jennifer McCabe calls 911. 6:04 a.m. on the dot. Officer Seraph is the first officer to arrive on scene, where he observes 3 females waving at him from the front yard area of the residence. This is Karen Reed and Jennifer McCabe and Carrie Roberts. Okay. He had to have been driving by. That is the only explanation. That's the only explanation, folks. He had to have been driving by. He had to have been right there in that area, just a street over, tops at most, or driving down the very same street. But I'm talking a 13-second response time. 13 seconds, people. That is amazing. But think about this, though. It's even shorter than that. Folks, it's even shorter than that. Because you also have to factor in the 911 call, how long it took for the dispatcher to dispatch the call, and then for the police officer to respond to the call. Don't they have to pick up their CB and go, I'm in the area, I'm about one street over, and I'm heading west down this street, boom, and I'll be there 13 seconds. Word. You know what I mean? Never heard of a 13-second response time. I mean, she had to have still been, if the call, dude, if the call is lasting 4 minutes, it's a 4-minute phone call, right? And she called at 6:30, unless, or at 6:03 and 47 seconds, unless, well, okay, you're saying that that's her sister for sure. Hold on a second. Let's take a look real quick. Communication log, Jennifer McCabe's phone. All right. So now why isn't the 911 call here? If Jennifer McCabe called 911, why isn't it listed in the call log? Tom Beatty. Oh, yeah. Okay, there it is. It's right there. I just missed it. It was listed wrong. But then she calls Nicole Albert at 6:07. So that is right after the 911 call. So I'm not even sure that's actually who she's talking to at the end of that phone call. It sounds more like, based on this call log, it sounds more like she hung up the phone with 911 and called her sister immediately. Doesn't necessarily mean that how could she be on the phone with her sister at the same time? Especially if this is her call log. This is the call log from the very same phone. Couldn't have been. I hate to I hate to shit all over anybody who believes that she was on the phone with her sister during that. Now, okay, well, maybe, unless she hung up with 911. Right, she hung up and called her sister. Got it. What I'm saying, though, is, I mean, didn't she get out of the car? Let's listen to it again. We're gonna do this until we get somewhere, folks. It's just somewhere.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Vietnam. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think he's dead. Or like, okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Carrie. Yes, I need some. John is 46 years old. I don't know if he got out of the car and it could be an operating hour. Is he Carrie?
Now, how does she know that he's 46? You know what I mean? Like, that's, I mean, that could be anything, but I again, you know, I'm still, all I'm doing is entertaining the theory that Jenn and John were closer than they led on. I'm just playing with that theory that Jenn and John were closer than they led on. Again, man, you know, they're having play dates with each other's kids. Right, exactly, AC. That's what I mean. She knows exactly who she knows who they just spent fucking how long? Look, here's the timeline. Hold on. Let me take a look at this timeline here. Okay. So at 5:39, Jennifer McCabe leaves her residence. So for 20 minutes, hold on a second. Yeah. These are phone calls here, but Jennifer McCabe leaves her residence at 5:39 and 10 seconds. So for 20 minutes, they're out searching for John, right? They're driving around. And then 5:52, they get to the victim's residence. So at 5:46, 5:39, Jennifer McCabe leaves her house. Then she gets at 5:46, she gets to John's house. And then at 5:52, she leaves John's house. And then at 5:57, she's in the proximity of the waterfall. And then 5:57, I guess to keep an eye out to see if he ended up back there somehow. And then at 6:03, she gets to 34 Fairview. Huh. So she's out searching for 20 minutes. She's looking for someone specific. That person being John O'Keefe. No doubt about that. The person she's out looking for. We're talking about Jennifer McCabe. Obviously, Carrie and Karen are out looking for him too, but Jennifer is specifically out looking for John McCabe or John O'Keefe. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Specifically looking for John O'Keefe. And when they get back to the house at 6:03, she calls 911 and says there's a man passed out in the snow. Doesn't identify him by name. Doesn't identify him as a police officer. And then says his name's John and he's 46 years old. Still doesn't say that he's a police officer. Still never, ever identifies him as a police officer. Right. I mean, fake search is probably right. I mean, I have friends. I mean, there's only a couple of friends, like good friends that I have that I've known since I was a teenager, whose birthdays that I know. But that's just me. I don't really remember birthdays. So, you know, maybe she's just really good with birthdays. But I don't know. I don't know, man. But one has to ask, why did she identify him as a police officer when calling 911? And if she knows him so well, You know, I mean, if she knows him well enough to know his age, why didn't she do that? I forget my own too, M99.
I don't know.
And the 13-second response time is something that I just can't get over either. Like that makes me wonder if somebody else in the house, I mean, I don't think that they called, maybe they called 911. We just don't have their phone records. Maybe somebody inside the house called 911 already, and we just don't know about it. Maybe somebody inside the house called a colleague at the police department prior to them, Jennifer, Carrie, and Karen arriving back to the home. Because the thing about this is we could break all this down over and over again, which we can do. That's fine. We could do this over and over again, right? But it doesn't change the fact that it's suspicious as fuck that Nicole Albert slept through all of this commotion. I'm talking about once the ambulance actually got there, once EMTs got there, once cops got there, Nicole Albert slept through the whole damn thing. Because she slept through the whole damn thing, but yet Jennifer McCabe called her. I mean, let's take a look real quick. Nine seconds. Outgoing call, 9 seconds. Now, does that mean that it took 9 seconds from the call from when she hit send? Or was it 9 seconds once the call was connected? That's the thing that I don't understand. How does that work? So if the call lasted 9 seconds when she called Nicole Albert, right after hanging up with 911, right? Is it 9 seconds from when Nicole Albert picked up the phone? Or was it 9 seconds from the time that she hit send and it started ringing? And then it went to voicemail? Because you guys are convinced that she was speaking to Nicole at the end of the call. Y'all are funny.
I know, I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know.
See, I'm not hearing the the phone call to the sister.
I know, I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know, honey, And it could be. John is 46 years old. I don't know if he got out of the car and it could be an operating hour. Is he, Carrie? Is he? I don't. I don't know.
I'm not missing anything, Cherry. I'm letting it play and then it just stops.
Is he, Carrie? Is he? I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I have a problem with that, AC. Because she mentions John, but she also mentions that he's 46 years old. Why is she telling Jennifer or Nicole Albert that he's 46 years old? What does Nicole Albert give a shit about how old he is? You know what I mean? It would make sense to me that she's talking to the 911 operator.
I know, I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know, honey, I know.
Okay, I don't have that recording then. Yeah, I don't see how you guys could hear what she's saying right there. Yeah, it sounded like, I mean, I could hear how someone might think that. It's not clear enough for me to confirm that. Sound like she said, no one's coming out of the house. Like in that tone, no one's coming out of the house. But the only reason that's in my head, because you guys keep saying it, You know what I mean? Other than that, I don't know. Okay, you say you have it voice enhanced. Who said that? Here. Give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can. Now I can't even find the app. Here we go. All right. So whoever said that they have it enhanced, text it to that number that's on the screen. And let me see if I can maybe play it through my phone. But I don't think I'm not even sure if this app has even text messaging. It looks like it does. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I can get text messages through here. I mean, like, it gives me the option to send text messages, but I don't see like an inbox in this like burner app. And if I don't, yeah, and I'm not about to put my my number out here. No, there's not more. I played the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, this is just for us to explore. I'm sure that that once this goes to trial, they'll have experts that enhance the call. All right, I'll play it again. Oh, here we go. Oh no, it's not letting me.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it won't let me. It won't send the file.
I think we're dead.
Yeah, there's really nothing I can do. And if you can, I mean, if you can only send it through text, maybe like if you could send it through text via email. Like here. You're right. I answered okay, but the file didn't come through. I just texted okay to see if like once I responded, maybe it'll come through, but it didn't. So let me see. Let's try something else. Brian Fitz. Let's try something else. All right. So send it, Brian Fitz, send it to that email. Like use your phone, send it as text message instead of putting in a phone number. It should work that way. So instead of putting in a phone number to text it to that email address. So don't use your email, but use your text messaging, and you know what I mean? That seems to be the only way to be able to do it. Check DMs, okay. All right. Maybe this is a better. Let's see here. Well, it won't play, Cherry. So I don't know. You just sent me a screenshot. That's all you did. I checked my DMs and all you sent me was a screenshot. No, what Cherry sent me is just a screenshot. All right, hold on. All right, this is louder. Hold on, let's see. I got it. We're good. Hold on. This is much louder.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think we're dead. Or like, okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Carrie. Yes, I need some.
Got a transcript. This feature has a holy shit. Hold on. All right. Yes. I'm all right today. I know. Inaudible. Yeah, not very good transcript. He went out of the car and it could be an opportunity. I knew. Can you all right? I'm right here. I know. Get out here and stop. You got to stop. Let's go. Get in the car on the way out. What? Huh.
I know. I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know.
Yeah, this transcript's not accurate. I don't know what she's saying right there. Yes, that's all of them.
I just gotta get Carl on the way out. Huh?
Yes, I need someone to come to 34th Fairview Road, get map. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I think he's dead. So, like, okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Carrie. Yes, I need some. Third floor. See if you're loading season.
Thank you, Bob Brown. Sorry,
John is 46 years old.
Yeah, Bob Brown. I did not see a notification for that, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm just like, I'm all over the place trying to like figure out what's the best way to hear this. But this seems to be the loudest and clearest. And Brian Fitz, I did get the email, but it didn't come through. Like it didn't come through as a text message or a file that could be played. So I appreciate you making the effort. I just couldn't. Yeah, it didn't happen. This file that Cherry sent me seems to be the only the loudest and the clearest. And it has a transcript, but it's computer generated and it's not very accurate at all.
I don't know. He got out of the car and it could be an operating hour. Is he Carrie? Is he? I don't.
Yeah, that's the one I'm playing, Cherry.
I know. I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know.
Can't make that out.
It's got to get far on the way up. Huh?
Yeah, no, I mean, she said something. I mean, she could have been talking to herself. People do that. You know what I mean? She could have been like, I don't something. I don't know what she said. I have no idea what she said. Yeah, no, I got that part. I got the part that Carrie was yelling at Karen, telling her to stop. Um, Karen's trying to administer CPR, which is what I gathered. But right, Bob Weir, exactly. I mean, we're not going to hear. I saw somebody say we need to hear the actual 911 call. We're probably never going to hear that until trial. So I wouldn't hold my breath. But yeah, it's bizarre because as somebody stated in chat, somebody said that they were a 911 dispatcher for a while there, and that you never tell them to stop administering CPR. So why didn't Jennifer, while Jennifer McCabe was on the phone with 911, why was she not telling the 911 operator that CPR was being administered? Because I didn't hear that at all. That's usually what happens. Okay, well, if I'm on the phone with a 911 operator, somebody's administering CPR, I'm going to be telling the 911 operator, especially if I'm staying calm, I'm going to be telling the 911 operator, hey, okay, so right now he's in the snow, he's unresponsive, his girlfriend is administering CPR right now, but there's no mention of this. There's no mention of this. Right. I've heard 911 calls where the dispatcher is going, okay, what you need to do is you need to administer 30 chest compressions and then a mouth to mouth breath and then 30 more chest compressions and then another mouth to mouth breath. That's standard. That's how you administer CPR. It's standard. That is exactly what a 911 operator would talk you through doing. And right, Kwam Lee, exactly. Why did she never identify him as a police officer? Right, she gave him the name and the age and the address, nothing else. And passed out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, passed out. You're giving somebody CPR when they're passed out. Cherry, with your little Bee Gees joke. Jesus. That's what you get for your cheesy ass jokes in my chat, Cherry. I mean, yeah, she never says her name. What's your name? You know what I mean? Like there's nothing. Yeah, there's so many things about this that don't sound like a 911 call. Like, okay, what is your name? My name is Jennifer McCabe. That never happened. I mean, it doesn't, none of that felt like a 911 call. That's what I find very weird. Because I mean, it doesn't seem like It's not like she said, there's a man, he's been shot. Okay, I could see maybe them being like, because even still, when somebody says there's a man, he's been shot, I'm standing over him, and then they're like, okay, they still ask, what's your name? Who am I speaking to? How long has he been laying there? Blah, blah, blah. None of that was asked by the 911 operator. At least not according to the end that we were listening from Jen's perspective, right? So why wasn't any of these things asked? Is he breathing? Like, at no point was she going, I don't know, I'm in the car, but his girlfriend is out there administering CPR right now. None of that was said. None of this was said. But we know she called 911. And if she's alone in the car, does she know that Karen's phone is recording and she was doing it for the benefit of the phone? But that seems far-fetched. But a man passed out in the snow, okay? There's a man passed out in the snow. Okay, is he breathing? How long has he been out there? What is there any discoloration to his skin? Is he turning blue? Is there this? Is there that? There's none of these questions that are generally being asked by a 911 dispatcher, so that the ambulance that's approaching would know what to expect when they get there. They try to establish as much as that is possible so that when the ambulance gets there, they already understand to a certain degree what they have to deal with. So why weren't any of these questions asked by the 911 dispatcher? According to the perspective that we're hearing from Jennifer McCabe's phone, was she just refusing to answer the questions? I mean, I don't understand this. This is very bizarre. But she didn't say any of that. I mean, and then there's the question of, is this phone call a hoax? Is this bullshit? Because if it is bullshit, it certainly doesn't help. It certainly doesn't help the argument that Jennifer McCabe did everything that she could. Right, because, and that's the interesting thing here is, it never says how long the 911 call is. It says right here that, oh, wait, yes, no, yeah, never mind, it does. It says Jennifer calls 911 for 3 minutes and 32 seconds. So she was on the phone with 911 for 3 minutes and 32 seconds, which kind of adds up to the time frame of that video. How long is this video? This video is 4 minutes and 21 seconds long. So it stands to reason that she did hang up and call Nicole Albert. I mean, I can't say who sounds like who, honestly. I don't know. All I can talk about is the content of the dialogue that I'm hearing, And this doesn't sound like any 911 conversation that I have ever heard. And I've covered a lot of cases on this platform, and I've listened to a lot of 911 calls, and I've watched a lot of ID channels where I hear 911 calls. And I've watched a lot of Dateline where I've heard 911 calls, and I've watched a lot of 2020 where I've heard 911 calls, and all of them are consistently the same generally, which are very different than what we're hearing right here. Right here. It's very different. That does not sound like your standard 911 call at all. All right, Carolyn Forth says it's definitely not fake. That's Jenn McCabe speaking. Okay. Again, I don't know. I have no. I've never interacted with these people. I don't know what their voices sound like. All right, I'll play it again because I know that there's people just joining. So I'll play it again, okay? But we're not going to really get anywhere. I'm telling you, this is as clear as it gets. Now, did she say Karen or Carrie? She said Karen. So, does that mean that Carrie is yelling at Karen for running over there to the body? Right. She said Karen. I heard that clearly. So does that mean that Carrie is yelling at Karen saying, basically trying to stop her from running over to the body? Is that the urgency where she's going, Karen? Let's listen to that one more time. She said Karen twice. Karen! No, it's not Karen saying Carrie. It's Karen. What's being said is Karen. No, I'm hearing Karen. Oh, that's how we say Carrie in Massachusetts. So you're saying it's Carrie with a Mass accent? You're saying it's Carrie with a Mass accent. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. I don't really know. But I'll take that. I know I got a lot of Mass people in here, and you guys know better than I do, so.
Yes, I need someone to be 34 Fairview Road, get Mass. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I can put that. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I can put that. Okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Carrie. Yes, I need some.
The thing that I can't get past more than anything else, the detail that I can't get past more than anything else is that at no point does she run into the house to get anything that might be needed. She's at her sister's house. She's right in front of her sister's house. Why is she looking for blankets in the car when she can run into her own sister's house and grab blankets? You know she knows where the blankets are. It's her sister's house. You know she knows where the blankets are in the house. Why is she not waking up her sister? Now she's calling her, but you're right in front of the house. There's beyond a sense of urgency here. There's beyond reason for urgency here, right? So why not just run into the house? Why not bang on the door and ring the doorbell over and over and over again? John is unconscious in your front yard. We need to help him. We need to get to him. We need to help him. None of this happens. I'm going to play this one more time because I'm telling you, like what? Okay, let's go down the list. What do we listen for when we listen to a 911 call? Right? I mean, we've listened to thousands of them in the true crime community, have we not? So let's think of what are we listening for during a 911 call? We're listening for the standard questions that are asked. And now we can't hear the dispatcher, but based on the answers or what Jennifer McCabe is saying on the phone, we can tell more or less what questions are not being asked, right? So let's say one, okay, you've got somebody passed out in your front yard, right? A man is passed out. A man passed out in the front yard, okay, in the snow. Okay, is he breathing? That would normally be the first question asked. At no point does she go, I don't know if he's breathing. I don't know. We have no indication that that was ever even asked. We have no indication whether or not it was asked, that whether or not, we have no indication whether or not Jennifer was asked what her name was, right? What's your name? Who am I speaking with? We hear that when we hear 911 calls too. We hear this all the time. Well, she didn't hang up after that statement, Bob Weir, because we know, according to the phone log, we know that the phone call lasted, the 911 call lasted 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Now, the recording we have here is 4 minutes and 21 seconds, but the 911 call lasted 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay? Okay. So SW 4x4 Explorers. If your hubby's handy right now, ask him hypothetically, if someone called 911 and he picked up, what would be the standard questions once faced with the fact that someone just called and said, there's a man passed out in the snow? Because the 911 dispatcher is going to want to know certain details so they know what to tell the ambulance, right? So ask him what would be the standard questions asked under those circumstances. I would love to know. Is he breathing? Would they ask if there is any discoloration? Like, is he turning blue? Where is your emergency? Okay, she answered that. 34 Fairview Road. She also said that he was 46 years old. Right. Is he alive? Can you do CPR? Yeah, but even if she said already, but I didn't hear her say that I think he's dead. Where at what timestamp does she say I think he's dead? How did you hear that? I didn't hear that. What's the timestamp on that? All right, let's see. I'm going to play it from the beginning again for those of you just joining.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Vietnam. There's a man trapped out in the snow. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I can put
that. We know that she's on the phone with 911. Well, we assume that she's on the phone with 911. The thing is we don't have a timestamp for this phone call that we're listening to right here. Okay? So we don't have a timestamp for this, but we do know for a fact, according to Jennifer McCabe's phone records, that at 6:03 and 47 seconds a.m., she called 911, and that 911 call lasted 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay? We know that much.
Okay. There's a man trapped out in the snow. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I can put that.
I heard that. Okay. I heard that right there.
I know. Where's the blanket? Okay. I know. Okay. I know. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. I can put 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 that. Okay. I know. Where's the blanket? I don't see blanket, Carrie. Yes, I need some.
Yeah, okay. See, that's sus as fuck right there. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That right there is sus as fuck. And the reason why I say that is sus as fuck is for the same reason that you all are thinking that it's sus as fuck, which is the fact that if she never got out of the car, why is she making the assumption that he's dead? Why is all hope lost? This is her friend. This is a guy who she had play dates with her kids with. We know that she knows that that's him in the snow. It's a man passed out in the snow. Even though she knows who he is, we know that she knows who he is because she's been out driving around for 20 minutes trying to find him. "20 minutes trying to find this man. Yet there's no indication of the proper questions being asked by the 911 dispatcher. Because even still, even if she says, I think he's dead, wouldn't a dispatcher just ignore that? Wouldn't a dispatcher just be like, okay, we have to act under the assumption that he's still alive and he can be saved? Right? Wouldn't a 911 dispatcher work under that assumption? Wouldn't they be doing their job under that assumption? Yes, no, you're right. She does say it. I played it a bunch of times. So she knows who he is. We know that she knows who is laying in that snow. She never identifies his name until later. She doesn't. She at first she says a man passed out in the snow. She never says that he's a police officer. in order to create more urgency for a response. Then there's a 13-second response time for the first officer, Officer Saraf. 13-second response time from the time that she's on the phone with 911. That does not add up to me. Even still, like I said, again, the only way that's even possible is if there was already a police officer patrolling that area. And I mean that immediate area. That's the only possible way. But even still, I call bullshit on that because, again, the 911 dispatcher would have had to put the call out, right? The 911 dispatcher would have already had to put the call out, which she or he probably did. They probably did put the call out, but even still, it's going to take moments for the dispatcher to put out the information. Putting the call out, they're going to be like, there's this, and this, right? This is the situation. And then the responding officer is going to say, I'm in the vicinity, I am heading west down blah, 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 and I will be there in 13 seconds. "13 seconds, 13-second response time. I have never heard of such a fast response time from a police officer or an ambulance, much less a police officer. Much less a police officer. Yes, Deets on the streets. 13 seconds. I have the timeline right here. I have the timeline right here. Okay? That's the phone log. Here's the timeline. All right. So right here, 6:03, 47 seconds a.m. Jennifer McCabe calls 911, answers 3 minutes. Hold on, let me enlarge this so that you guys can see it better. 6:03 and 47 seconds a.m. Jennifer McCabe calls 911, answered 3 minutes 32 seconds. Deleted from Jennifer McCabe's phone. Then at 6:04 a.m. on the dot, Officer Saraf is the first officer to arrive on scene, where he observes 3 females. Now, in all fairness, this 6:04 could be just general. It is Officer Saraf arriving there, could be between 6:04 and 0 seconds to 6:04 and 59 seconds. It could absolutely be that. So could be a minute, but even still, a 60-second response time is amazing. A 60-second response time would still be amazing. 13 seconds, fucking impossible. 60 seconds, next to fucking impossible. In a blizzard. Good point. And then 6:07, right after she hangs up with 911, she calls Nicole Albert, and it's answered. 9 seconds. It says right here, so it's answered. So she's on the phone for 9 seconds. Now, is she leaving a 9-second voicemail? Or is she, and then calls back at 6:08? About 30 seconds later? And then it's 7 seconds. Both calls deleted from Jennifer McCabe's phone. Okay, Dietz, that makes sense. Dietz is saying that Sleuthy may have worded it wrong and that Canton PD was dispatched at 6:04. All right, so for the sake of playing devil's advocate, let's just assume that that's the case, okay? Let's just dismiss let's just go ahead and dismiss the response time aspect of the whole thing.
Third floor, see if you're loading station. John is 46 years old. I don't know if he got out of the car and it could be an operating hour. Is he Carrie? Is he? I don't. I don't. I know I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know, honey, I know.
Okay, so Carrie's yelling at Karen there. Calamity Jade, thank you so much. It's official 911 call where dispatcher's voice. They're the real first responders multitasking and talking to 2 or 3 channels, people coordinating all at once and never stop instructing help. Right. Yeah. None of this feels like a 911 call is my point. I agree with you. And thank you, Calamity Jade. Right. Yeah. I saw that in the call logs too, Deets on the Streets. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't play a factor to me, Diane. You're saying, can you believe that Karen is being prosecuted for this murder as hard as she is trying to warm him up? Right. I mean, there's that, but even still, like, a guilty person might do that too. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just jump to the conclusion that she's innocent because of that. I'm going to look. I'm going to look at this and approach it like a juror would, right? At least as best as I can think to do so, right? So I'm going to approach this like a juror, and if I'm looking at all of the evidence so far, I mean, this is nothing to me as far as if I'm a juror, unless the defense attorney comes up with some amazing revelation in regards to this phone call and it's more enhanced and we can hear more clearly certain things. I'm not going to factor this in as evidence that I would necessarily pay attention to as a juror. What I would pay attention to as a juror is how the evidence was collected. I would pay attention to the fact that there is a clear conflict of interest, that the McCabes and the Alberts went to high school together. Or I'm sorry, the McCabes and the Proctors all knew each other. The Proctors and McCabes and the Alberts all knew each other since high school. I'm going to find it to be a conflict of interest that Michael Proctor called Jennifer McCabe's phone that very morning. That's a red flag. I find that to be incredibly suspicious. I find it to be incredibly suspicious that Jennifer McCabe, her car was seen at Michael Proctor's home in the middle of an ongoing investigation where she is a key witness. That's got to be a conflict of interests. That cannot be standard procedure. I find it suspicious that the house gets sold. I find it suspicious that the dog disappeared. I find a million things about this case suspicious. This is the least suspicious thing out of everything, and it's still shady as fuck. I mean, am I crazy? This is still shady as fuck. There's nothing about this that even feels like a 911 call, like a standard 911 call that I've ever heard listening or following to any other true crime case. Exactly, Deets on the Streets. Reasonable doubt. This is beyond. This is, I mean, this is, yeah, there's so much doubt here. This shouldn't even be going to trial. Again, unless the prosecution has some fucking ace in the hole, dude. Unless the prosecution is holding on to a smoking gun that they have not revealed to the public that exists. Because again, we're going to have to, I mean, realistically, folks, we're going to have to wait until trial to get all of the facts, to get all the truth. But based on the information that has been made available to us publicly, I mean, I'm just not seeing how this could even go to trial. And the whole town feels this way. The whole town, finally. Sorry, I had my own personal bullshit that I was distracted by here, but a few things have happened in regards to this case. A few things have happened. There was a town meeting. This town meeting that was supposed to take place to determine whether or not they were going to conduct an audit on the police. The town voted yes. That's going to happen. That town needs an audit. That town needs an audit more than anything that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, right. Your AC. See, I'm not ready to jump to those conclusions. The thing is I'm not Turtle Boy. Okay. I would never even begin to even remotely compare myself to Turtle Boy because Turtle Boy has done so much work in this case, done so much investigating in this case. So therefore, I can't jump to the same conclusions that Turtle Boy can jump to. And I don't jump to conclusions based on the things that people say versus the things that people show. Now, the thing is so it doesn't mean that I don't believe certain things. Is certain things that I only feel comfortable saying out loud as my opinion on a public platform, that I feel comfortable doing so. I don't feel comfortable saying all of the things that Turtle Boy says because Turtle Boy has come to these conclusions based on his own personal investigations in this case. So therefore, you know, I don't feel as comfortable as he does, you know, and rightfully so. I don't have the skills that he has. I don't have I'm not as invested in this as he is. So you know, I'm never going to sit up here and talk about the people involved in this case the way that Turtle Boy does, because I haven't interacted with any of these people the way he has. I haven't dug into their pasts or into their lives the way that Turtle Boy has. I haven't done any of these things. So in all fairness and in all, you know, in this, for the sake of being fair, I can't just jump to these conclusions and express them loudly on my public platform. I have to be very careful because I don't know these things to be fact. Now, these things, the thing is, though, is I know enough publicly, the stuff that's been made publicly based on that stuff. I know enough that this case has been mishandled as far as the investigation goes, if I'm comparing it to the details of every other investigation of any other case that I've ever covered and talked about. I've never seen more mishandling of a case in my life. In all the years that I've been covering these cases, I've never seen evidence mishandled like this. I've never seen anything so grossly mishandled to the point where you're like, how is this even going to trial? Because that's where I'm at. I'm wondering how this is even going to trial. Like, you think that any DA, like, listen, so when I was young, right? When I was about, I think 19, I pawned a friend of mine's TV for him, right? We went to he was just like, listen, I don't have ID right now. I lost my ID. Can you just pawn this TV for me? And I've been to his house before. It's his house. So I was like, yeah, no problem. So, we went to the pawn shop. I used my ID. Turns out that he was stealing the TV from his grandmother. I didn't know that. He's stealing the TV from his grandmother. A couple months later, after the fact, detectives showed up to my house, took me in for questioning, asked me questions. I cooperated 100% because I didn't think I did anything wrong. I was like, whatever. I mean, it was the guy's house. And so I pawned his TV for him. I don't know, and I was young and stupid. Of course, I wouldn't do that today. I'd be like, nope, sorry. But I was young and stupid. And I just figured, hey, why not? And so the cops wanted to charge me. But right in front of me, they called the DA, right? The detective called the DA. The DA was like, can't prosecute him. Just use him as a witness to prosecute the guy that actually stole the TV. And I never even had to testify. He ended up cutting a deal, pleading guilty, whatever. But I never even had to testify. But the thing is, though, the cop or the DA was like, or I guess it was the assistant DA that was like, well, no, you can't. I can't prosecute him. Now, technically, on paper, the fact that it was my ID that was on file at the pawn shop, I had the most evidence against me. I had the most physical evidence against me. And still the DA was like, I'm not even going to bother. Because the way that DA felt was that even the greenest fucking public defender on the planet could have gotten me off from those charges. So they never charged me. Right? So in this case, considering all of that shit, you would think that the DA would simply be like, dude, there's so much mishandling of evidence. The greenest fucking public defender comes along and can get this case dismissed on a number of things. In theory, I'm not a lawyer, but I would assume so, right? On a number of things. Let me address the super chat. I got on a rant here. Sorry about that. That's the Southwest 4x4 Explorers. And thank you. Biggest issue: what person sees a dead person and isn't hysterical? Not many. A cop's wife should not be used to seeing a dead person. Sus as fuck. See, that's up for debate. That's something that we hear in the true crime community all the time. I never ever really attribute a 911 call as evidence until trial, until I'm seeing that compared to all the other evidence. So, I mean, again, as I stated when I started this live stream, I take pride in the fact that whenever I have had to call 911, I've always remained very calm. Even if it was just there had to be urgency to take place, right? Somebody, somebody was passed out or whatever. Call 911. The best way is to stay calm. The best way to get an ambulance there the fastest as possible is to stay calm and provide the information asked by the dispatcher. And the dispatcher, you let them have control of the conversation because the dispatcher knows exactly what needs to be done and what needs to be assessed in order to get an ambulance there as quick as possible and get that person the best possible care so that they know what to tell the ambulance and what to expect, at least to the best possible degree, once they get there. But there was none of these questions that were being asked. There's no indication from Jenn's end of all this that the 911 dispatcher was asking any of the right questions except for the location, his name, and age. They didn't ask her name. They didn't ask if he was breathing. Fuck yeah, chill and call 911. I'm not gonna. What good does that do to scream and freak out? Oh my god, you gotta get here. Because half the conversation is the dispatcher going, sir, you're gonna need to calm down. You need to calm down. I need to ask you some questions. Okay, I want to help you. That's a lot of time being wasted. And if you could just simply avoid that by staying calm and doing what needs to be done, saying what needs to be said with a sense of urgency, but without panic, that's how you're going to get the best possible results. That's how you're going to give that person the best chances of living through that situation. I don't know about that number, Southwest 4x4 Explorers. I don't know about that number. 90% freak out when it's serious. I mean, do they though? Really? 90%? That's not really giving people a lot of benefit of the doubt, But do I feel that she seemed a little too calm? Do I feel that Jennifer McCabe seemed a little too composed? Why was she fucking whispering? That was weird. If she's alone in the car, but did she really give a lot of important info fast? I don't know about that. Let's listen to it again. Right, she didn't give a fuck, right? That's the most sus thing. She's like, yeah, I think he's dead. But dude, their kids play together. How are you not at least showing some concern? She's not showing any concern. No concern at all. Yeah, I think he's dead. Like she says it calm as fuck. So weird.
Yes, I need someone to come to 34 Fairview Road, Vietnam. There's a man passed out in the snow. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why he's dead. I think he's dead. He's like, okay. I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Carrie. Yes, I need some.
How did she know that he was dead? Why would she jump to the conclusion that he is dead? If she was out looking for him and he's laying in the snow, why would she jump to the conclusion that she thinks he's dead? This is her friend. She's the one that invited him to the party. Right. And she said passed out first. Action Benz. First she says passed out, and then she says, I think he's dead. How would you know that? Why would you jump to the conclusion that he's dead 30 seconds after you just said that he was passed out? Too weird, man. No, Deets. There, somebody in my chat says they did, but they can only send it via text message, and I'm not about to give my number out here. I gave like my burner phone, and I asked him to send it via text message, like to my email, and it doesn't come through. So I could not. And I don't really know how good the quality is, but there's somebody's going to end up cleaning this up, and then I'll go over it too, like once that happens. But I still want to know why she deleted all her phone calls.
Years old. I don't know.
All right.
He got out of the car and it could be an Carrie?
There's a lot of you in here that just joined. Let me explain as it was explained to me. Basically, what went on here is, now I don't know who released it, but apparently this is John's voicemail. This is the victim, John O'Keefe's voicemail. And it picked up because I guess Karen was trying to call John. And once they pulled into 43 Fairview Road, once they pulled in there, she threw her phone down without hanging up, ran out to administer CPR on John. But the voicemail was picking up Jenn McCabe on her phone calling 911. That's how it was explained to me.
I did. I know, I'm on the phone with the ambulance. I know, honey, I know.
And another reason why I think that that Karen Reed's reaction here is genuine is because there's nothing about her personality everywhere else that I've seen her on. When I saw her on Dateline, when I saw her standing in front of the courthouse, anytime I've heard her speak, she seems absolutely and totally composed. She seems absolutely and totally the type of person who is not the panicky type. So seeing her loved one laying in the snow like that, and she's freaking out the way that she is, seems genuine. She doesn't seem like somebody with a flair for the dramatics. I don't get the impression from Karen Reed that she has a flair for the dramatics. I'm just not getting that impression from her. Now, anything could happen. Again, people, we have to wait till trial, but there's really, all I'm seeing is a valid reason for the people of Canton to be concerned about their police. I'm seeing plenty of valid reasons. I mean, there's all of these little things that collectively seem suspicious, just dipped into this batter of, it's just saturated in this one particular fact that there's a lot of good old boy bullshit going on in Canton. You know, like it's just, you know, Boston's version of of Southern good old boy bullshit is what it certainly seems like. I was listening for that too, Dietz. I was actually listening for that to begin with, but that could have happened later because remember, EMTs are not there yet. And apparently it was the EMT that heard Karen Reed ask if, or say she hit him. According to them, she says that she hit him. But according to Karen Reed on Dateline, she says that she asked if she hit him. She was asking, did I hit him? Did I hit him? Did I hit him? Or I hit him. So that wouldn't be happening yet. It could be happening. But I'm not hearing anything of that nature in this particular recording. But I'm not surprised that I'm not hearing it, only because it was the EMT that stated that he heard her say that. So huh. Interesting, Dietz. Yeah, like I never hear Jenn. I never hear Jen.
I just gotta get Carl on the way up. Huh?
Oh, shit. Oh, somebody deleted the file from the Dropbox. Y'all see this? I didn't do that. So much for listening to it anymore. But somebody deleted this file just now from this Dropbox, like just now. Huh. No, I didn't save it. I should have, but I didn't. Okay, Cherry has it saved. That's why Cherry's Cherry. Telling you, couldn't find my socks without her. No, yes, and I still have it on this stream. So, and this stream's not going anywhere. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. There's something else I wanted to go over real quick. So I am going to read a Turtle Boy article because I don't think mainstream media is going to cover this, but I find this interesting. What? Yeah, I'm looking at the DMs, Cherry. Nothing is. Yeah, no, it doesn't come through. It's just a shit emoji. So let's take a look at this because I find this interesting. So Canton cover up. Canton police file criminal complaint for witness intimidation against peaceful protesters outside Chris Albert's pizza shop. So not only has Turtle Boy been charged with witness intimidation, but now they're charging ordinary regular citizens who are peacefully protesting outside of Chicken Palm Charlie's pizza shop, D&E Pizza. On November 5th, 9 law-abiding citizens gathered peacefully across the street from D&E Pizza Canton, which is owned by Canton Selectman Chris Albert. The protesters were threatened with arrest by 4 Canton police officers who came with a printout of MGL Chapter 268, Section 13A, which they claimed that the protesters were in violation of. Officer Robert Zepf initially told the protesters that they were in violation of the law because they were within eyesight of Albert, but later admitted to the protesters on video that they were 100% correct in their assertion that the statute does not mention anything about being within eyesight of a witness. Fascinating. Let's see what this video says here.
Keeper of the forged signature again.
They have papers in their hand. What are they gonna do? Huh? Yeah. 4 cards.
Coming to enforce it. They want us to sign a petition. Make Chris pay his taxes.
I know there's 4 of them with papers in their hands.
Hi.
Section 13A, if anyone wants to read it.
Oh, we already know about it.
Okay. Well, you're in violation.
How are we in violation of it?
Directly across the street is a witness to a criminal crime. So, directly across the street is a witness to a criminal.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I want to take a look at that.
I love how they
We're not.
I love how they intimidate, calling it intimidation. That's very funny to me that they use intimidation to intimidate.
We're not doing any of that. Peacefully protesting.
If you guys want to read it further, we get the peaceful
I saw
protest.
you lost. I know. I know.
Okay. What does eyesight mean? Like directly in front? I mean,
Exactly. What does that mean exactly?
Okay. But not really. But not really.
okay, so yeah, eyesight. Like if he stands outside, is that out of eyesight?
But where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of the section? Because
That's the section.
okay, but where's the rest of the section that says that? Okay. What if I just walk up and down the street without violation?
You're an
Alright, so tell me what I can.
I can't tell you exactly what.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a
Well,
violation.
I mean, technically, we're really not eyesight.
This is definitely a violation of First Amendment rights. Like, what is the point of protesting? Riddle me this, Batman. What's the point of protesting if the person you're protesting can't see you? What's the point of protesting if the people who are the proprietors of the establishment that you're protesting can't see you? That's called peaceful protest. Showing up and going, hey, we are here. And this is how we feel about you. That's peaceful protesting. And he's an elected official, right? The fact that he is an elected official makes it that much more of a right to do it. It gives them that much more of a right to do it. I mean, you could absolutely do that. Like, you could boycott, you could protest in front of the whole fucking, in front of the pizza shop simply because you don't like the fucking pizza, dude. You could be like, the chicken palm here fucking sucks. It's fucking garbage. Fuck this chicken palm. This shit'll give you a fucking rash. Like, you could absolutely do that. Right in front of the pizza shop. And be like, fuck this fucking pizza. This guy's a crocksucker. I mean, you could absolutely do that. Why can't you do that? If I wanted, if I thought that the Big Mac was contributing to world hunger in some fucked up way, I could fucking stand in front of a fucking McDonald's and stand with a goddamn sign that says this establishment is contributing to world hunger. Even if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't matter. I mean, I could absolutely do that. That's First Amendment. That's textbook First Amendment. That's a textbook fucking. I mean, it makes no sense that they would arrest you for that. You can't be an eye shot. You can't be an eye shot of the D&E pizza. You can't be an eye shot of that. Pack it up, go home. No. Fucking no. What do you mean? Eye shot.
I mean, D&E's
Fuck
over
outta
there.
here.
We're in front of.
Can you see D&E?
Oh, so
Like
we're out of his eyesight at all times. We can monitor where he is, so we're out of his eyesight. I wouldn't say you have to go that far. What I'm saying is you can't set up shop directly in eyesight of a.
This guy's talking out of his ass.
Oh,
he's completely talking out of his ass.
He's appeared in grand jury.
Well, what are we influencing the witness of doing? In discharge of his duty.
Right.
We don't have anything with any don't testify. We're not saying that.
We're not debating it.
But but that's what it says.
I just
So
want to know when
what
he's
does
going to pay
that?
his taxes. That's all I want to know.
You don't want to debate it, but you don't want. You're not. This is not matching what you're saying. How is it matching what you're saying? Literally right here.
So we can move up a little.
Yeah.
We'll just move up a little.
Building of residence occupied and used by such a judge, juror, witness. We're not. But it says that we're intent of influencing to discharge of their duty. We're not doing that.
We can't determine it.
It's not up for interpretation. It is what it is.
You can see none of our.
We have free care and read side. I mean, do you have a highlighter so I can highlight that for you?
You guys have signs calling Albert was in the house, free care and read.
Okay.
That's our opinion, though.
Yeah, it's all opinion. But again, what we're saying is.
But what you're saying isn't matching.
What are you saying?
This is a lie, and it doesn't match what you're saying.
Right.
Influencing to discharge of their duty. We're not doing that. His duty
Keep it
is
on
to
video.
Bro, like.
My phone's going to die.
Yeah,
live.
Not live.
Oh.
I guess, again, I'm not
So
sure.
can we?
It's so funny to me, dude. Like, how are these people like? How are you like two cops going to roll up on these people with free care and read shirts, free care and read signs? You know what I mean? Like, and you know these people for the audit of the cops in that area. You know that those people voted for the audit. You don't think that they're going to question you? You think that they're just going to be like, okay, officer. All right, fuck it. We'll go home. Fuck it. No, they're going to be like, no. We're not doing nothing. We're just standing here. It's crazy to me, dude.
Can we go? Okay, so what are you gonna do if we don't move? No, we don't want to go, you guys.
And none of them, and this is also very telling too. Think about how respectful they're all being. Look at how respectful these Canton residents are being. They're simply just being like, well, can we stand over there? Can we stand over there? Can we walk by? Like, what are our options here? Because we want to exercise our First Amendment rights, yet we want to cooperate with you. So what are our options? Because us just packing up and leaving is not an option. We're not doing anything wrong, but we're willing to work with you. You know what I mean? And yet they still fucking charged him. That's what's mind-blowing. Keep that in mind, folks, because those 9 people still got charged. According to Turtle Boy's article here, those 9 people still got charged.
Guys, tell us to go.
You guys can go anywhere you want, not nice. I'll leave that up to you guys.
Okay, so what are you gonna do if we don't go? If we don't go?
All right, so well, I guess we can go on the other side of the street because that wouldn't be eyesight, right?
Correct. Can you see D&E from
Well,
if you're
so
standing on the
what
other
I mean, I could this way, but
Can you see D&E? Like, yeah, the whole point is so we can fucking see it.
Wait, was it his eyesight or ours?
But if we were protesting Chris, it would be different.
Where does it say eyesight on here?
Oh, there we go. Where does it say eyesight on here? She said, where does it say eyesight on here?
Cams.
Definitely don't see that.
No, you're 100% right.
Yeah. So tell Paulina if she's gonna print stuff out and give it to us to make sure she does it correctly.
Okay, so it's on video.
No, we're good. It's not even valid.
See, that's fascinating because she goes, where on here does it say that I can't be in eyesight? Where on here? He's like, oh, you're 100% right. It doesn't say that at all. Like he just says it. You're 100% right. It doesn't say that at all. Okay, so why the fuck did you still charge them then? Why are those innocent people, innocent Americans, exercising their American rights to protest peacefully? Why are they being charged with a crime? When you show up with a piece of paper saying you're breaking this injunction, you're breaking this, I mean, how did they still get charged? That makes no sense to me.
I'd love to put it on.
Can you grab anyone's name who wants to?
I don't want to give my name.
Who wants to what?
Give their name.
Don't give
For
your
what?
name. Don't give your name. Why would you give your name?
No, we're not. But I'm just, why do we
We're
want
not
to
doing anything illegal.
I'm just curious.
We're just sitting here with signs.
I know you're just doing your job, but you're wasting your time because you're not doing anything wrong. I'm not giving you my name.
We can't even call the state police because
Thanks for coming.
just called them. An elderly woman at a turtle CUNT because you're standing there just peacefully protesting. So that's the most harassment that's happened all night.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
That's a great question. How can you be charged if you clearly didn't commit a crime?
Don't give them any names.
How can Karen Reed be charged? How can Turtle Boy be charged?
Wait.
I gotta say, I love the people who love to talk shit and be like, Turtle Boy's just as bad as Bullhorn Betty. He's worse. He's worse. But like, how does this not prove? You know what I mean? How does this not prove that these cops are abusing their power? How does this not prove it? Street Squirrel, thank you so much. They printed that paperwork about an hour before they handed it to us. So it wasn't that big of a deal to stop us. Oh, you were out there, Street Squirrel. Okay. Thank you so much, by the way. But you were out there. Were you one of the people that got charged? They were across the street from a witness to a criminal crime. They were within eyeshot of Chris Albert. Chris Albert is a witness because he testified in front of a grand jury, even though the grand jury in the Karen Reed case was ended over a year ago, and he is no longer a witness in that regard. The content of their signs was what made their protest illegal because it had language relating to the Karen Reed case. He could not determine what the protesters were intending to do, yet he was accusing them of being in violation of the law that specifically requires police to show the intent of the accused. Despite the fact that the Canton police admitted on video that the protesters were not in violation of 13A, at least 4 of the Canton 9 have received summons to appear in Stoughton District Court for a clerk magistrate's hearing because CPD has filed criminal complaint against him. These charges include not only the 13A picketing of a witness statute, but also charges for violation of the much more serious 13B felony witness intimidation statute. Witness intimidation, isn't that the same thing that Turtle Boy got charged with? So why did they show up to Turtle Boy's house, put him in handcuffs, and seize all of his tech if he got charged for the same thing that these people got charged? And these people, all they got was a summons to show up to court. Street Squirrel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. A few of us are still waiting on the letters. Thank you, buddy. Like, this is bizarre. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm getting at, Scott McGinnis. That's exactly the point that I'm getting at. Like, how can you not see that Turtle Boy and how they handle Turtle Boy's arrest? If it's the same charges, why was he treated differently than these 9 people? That makes no sense. Travel C, maybe. I know that Turtle Boy's attorney filed a motion to get his tech back, and I think Tuesday there is a hearing about that, which I will be covering. Okay, so Turtle Boy was charged by the Massachusetts State Police, Canton 9 by Canton PD. And they said Turtle Boy was a flight risk. Yeah, Turtle Boy's just going to leave his kids behind. The same kids that he walks to the bus stop every morning, right? He's just going to jump on a plane and be like, fuck yeah. Fuck this. I'm going to Brazil. What? What? Insane, dude. This whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, man. These people look like a real menace, bro. Like get a good gander at these folks with their let's get a good gander at these intimidating people here, folks. These awful, intimidating people. Get a good look at them because they sure look intimidating to me. These people sure look like they're out there to shake things up and intimidate somebody. I mean, they're all just smiling and posing for. They're just like, because they really look like they're up to no good, right? You know what I mean? They really look like they're up to no good. They really look like they're doing some shady stuff by holding up these loud ass signs and their loud ass t-shirts and smiling and taking pictures. Absolutely proud of themselves right now. But, you know, They're up to some shady shit. I mean, people, this is ridiculous. Unreal. Court is at 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Got it. All right. Yeah, I will do my very best to get a hold of that and stream it. If not, I'll stream the replay. You know, one way or the other. I mean, and if there is any footage of it, if not, then I mean, I'll go over whatever the details are in that. But I am going to wrap this up, guys. This is yeah. I mean, I really, there's definitely some shady stuff about that 911 call. I definitely have questions. I asked them already here, but we won't really get the answers to those until the Karen Reed trial. But once that happens, we will, I'm sure we'll, certain things will come to light. Either, like I said, either the prosecution has a smoking gun that we're just not aware of, or it just is what we see it to be, which is just a whole messy bullshit, ridiculous investigation that is too sad to be funny. You know, it's too. I mean, this is a woman's life on the line. This is a police officer's justice on the line. Because again, I'm going to make this point, and I'm always going to make this point. Based on the information that has been made available to us, I do not see how this case is prosecutable. I just don't see it. So therefore, if Karen Reed is innocent, which so far I believe she is, if Karen Reed is innocent, well, then they've got the wrong person on trial, which costs John O'Keefe justice. If Karen Reed is guilty, well, then they absolutely and totally mishandled this investigation to the point to where no way that 12 jurors with common sense is ever going to convict this woman, therefore costing John O'Keefe justice. So hopefully this audit will carry some weight, and maybe they'll be forced to conduct a thorough investigation into John O'Keefe's murder. And I do believe with all my heart that John O'Keefe was absolutely murdered. Guys, you guys are fantastic. It's really good to get back to this kind of content. I got to tell you, got to take a second and let you guys know that it is so nice and refreshing to get back to this kind of content and hang out with you guys and talk about this stuff. I really, really appreciate you guys being here. It means so much to me. I got to tell you that. It means more to me than I can ever describe to you. So thank you guys for all your support and being here. So guys, I will try to go live again tomorrow if I can. If not, either way, we will do this again very soon, my friends.